now. Okay, so good day everyone. I was gonna say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. I think good day suffices. And so I'm super excited to be on this call. I think it's been a while, right? And today we're looking at something very promising, something I love so much, and I feel is very important for African creatives, freelancers, entrepreneurs, just people putting in the work, right? They have the qualifications, they have the skill sets, they have the experiences, but they are missing one thing, all right? And that's the one thing that we're going to make sure that everyone leaves this session with. Okay, so let me be sure that everyone on the call currently are in the right room. If you are here for the session on crafting a winning freelance profile, drop on the chat box, just type the number 1 so that I can be sure that you are here for the right reasons and we can be sure that there are no robots on the course. Just type 1 on the chat box and I will be sure that I'm in the room with the right people and we will move there. Thank you very much, Christabel. Thank you very much, Adams. All right. Now, so before I move on my slides, right? What does it really mean to be a freelancer, first of all, and what does it mean to actually craft the winning? What does a freelance profile really look like? For many of us that maybe watch all these investigative movies, right? All those NCSI, stuffs like that. You get to see what they say when they say they profile a criminal or they profile a particular person, and then they're getting all the actionable detail about that person, and then they put a name. If FBI wants to do that most wanted, it is a profile of this person that would enable them, know where on the leaderboard they'll put that person. And it's the same thing for us as freelancers or as creatives, wherever we find ourselves, that people should be able to profile us and give us a name so we can have our own place on the leaderboard. If there's no name, then we are pretty much just wasting our time. All right. So basically, a freelancer is anyone with a particular skill set ready to offer that particular skill for a particular fee, but it's not subject to a full-time contract. Let's put it that way. It's mostly like a contract. What could be for a gig, it could just be for you to deliver a particular service, and that's just about it. All right. And so if you're on this call, you're either looking to start your journey as a freelancer or you're looking to scale, you are on the right call. Okay. So what does it mean to unlock global potential? Now, if you are on this call, it means that you're looking forward to equip yourself as either a freelancer or as a creative or as an early stage professional. You're looking to equip yourself with the strategies to build compelling profiles. So you want people to be able to look for you easily, and you want a name tag that speaks volume of what you do. This will not enable you stand out on any platform. Oftentimes when I talk about that I write, people ask me quickly, are you on Fiverr? Are you on Upwork? And when I say no, because I'm not on Fiverr, I am on Upwork, but I don't really do much there. When I say no to this platform, they're like, these are the platforms you're supposed to be able to get the right gigs. There are high-paying clients there. And I'm like, yes, but the high-paying clients in so many other platforms. But it all borders on how you craft your profile. So many talented freelancers get rejected, not because of their skill. They have all the skills necessary for that particular gig, right? But they are rejected as a result of their poorly optimized profiles. So if I go online and I search Adams, for example, and Adams tells us on this chat, on this call, that I am a this. If I go online and I search Adams, if I don't see the thing that Adams has said, then his digital footprint is not effective. Or if he says, oh, I have a profile on LinkedIn and I take his profile and I cannot tell, for example, let's say Adams is into fish farming. If I can go to his page on LinkedIn, I can't tell he's into fish farming, there is a big problem. If Christabel, for example, is into hairdressing, if I go to her profile and I can't find natively linking hairdressing to her, then there is a problem. All right. So what does that mean in entirety? It means that freelancing in Africa is booming, meaning there is a search. right? There are people actively looking for freelancers in this part of the world because they have the right skill, and of course they put in the work at the end of the day. So with an estimated 30% annual growth in the digital gig economy, offering unprecedented opportunity, meaning that there's so many opportunities out there, but it all borders on our positioning. So if you're not positioned right, the question will not be that the complaint will not be that there are no opportunities out there. It will be that you have not done what is necessary to attract these opportunities. Okay. Now, for my friends that are in Upwork, because I'll speak more about Upwork and every other platform eventually, but because I have experience there, for my friends that are on Upwork, there's something called the approval hurdle, right? They tell you that before you can get your first gig, you pull up, the experience is something else, yada, 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 yada. There are just so many stories around that, right? So platforms like Upwork, like I just mentioned, and Fiverr, right? People that get on those platforms, they go there because they believe there is a pool of opportunities, which there is. But they find out that most of the time they don't have access to these opportunities, even after they've stayed in these platforms for a good amount of time. Can you confirm that you can still see my screen? My laptop is working a bit slow, so I think that's if you can see my screen, just
Yes,
say
we
it on
can,
it. All right, thank you very
can see it.
much. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm trying to close out some windows. Maybe that will make the system speed to improve. All right, so unfortunately, many African freelancers face these common pitfalls that lead to rejection. And one of those things are weak profile. I, for one, was guilty of this. I mean, you can check my Upwork profile and you'd see copywriting, you will see book editing and proofreading, you will see so many things, right? And then when I'm putting my portfolio to showcase works I have done before, they are varying things. So you're asking, what is this person's particular niche? I feel for Warren, if you want to be on numerous freelance platforms, you should have different profiles across these different platforms. I mean, because you can do many things. If you're a copywriter, be a copywriter on one. If you're a proofreader and editor, be that on another platform, so it's not conflicting. So it's easier for them to take you to the top, right? When people are searching for someone with that particular skill. So weak profiles means lack of detail, generic description. Some of you just go online and say bio of a content creator, and you just copy, change the first name there and put yours, right? So there's a reason why there are sections in every single platform that you go into. Fill up those sections. Don't leave some place incomplete. I go to some post LinkedIn, for example, I see experiences, I even see project, and I don't see education. And you have a bio. What? I see education, I see experiences, I don't see projects, and they don't have a bio. So what? Incomplete sections, right? Unclear niche, like I said, trying to be a jack of all trades, right? It is not something that flies well in the freelance industry. So you have to be specific. Like I just gave an example. You can't be all of the things in writing in one platform. You conflict people, you confuse them. Be something on this platform and be something on another platform if you so want to, look out for multiple opportunities, but be easily definable. We should look at you and be able to say, for example, there are different tribes in Nigeria, right? And then some tribes have some particular markings on their faces. We should be able to look at you and deduce between 1, 2, 3, 4 tribes that actually have markings on their face because you have one on your face. But we shouldn't look at you, for example, you have markings and you don't fall into all these regions that naturally have markings. And even the region you're from, they don't have markings. So you're confusing us. You're making it work harder for us. So if we're going to be, we're going to be bringing in nepotism, for example, you won't be favored by your own people because we think you're representing a different race. That's how it feels when we have a very unclear niche in our profiles, no portfolio. Before you can get, an Upwork job or a Fiverr job or any other platform job that you can showcase there, showcase the stuff you've done outside. Absence of concrete work examples. A lot of people don't have that. Even for beginners, I tell my friends, before you dabble into the industry, called Freelance, right? Officially, before you have an online profile, make sure that you have done some free work outside that would count for you as an actual job that you have done. Use that to fill up your portfolio. If you fill up your portfolio that way, it makes it easier for people to come and see, oh, this person has done a website before, even if you were not paid. They don't matter. It doesn't matter if you're not paid for that job. All that matters is that you have done that job in the first place. Inconsistent information, right? Discrepancy between resume, profile, and work samples. For example, if you're applying for a gig as a copywriter, you have a resume, you have a profile. It will be absurd that your resume would carry copywriter, proofreader, and editor when that particular job that you're applying for doesn't need those other services. And then they're coming to your profile and saying something else. Sometimes we make this habit of saying, because in this part of the world, you kind of do multiple things in one particular role. And so you want to now be flipping. Maybe you were a programs officer in one, and you did grant writing of sorts. You want to now showcase that you're a program officer and grant writer on your resume, but on your LinkedIn, for example, it shows just program officer. And so what would that say about you when someone is looking to work to you and they are seeing some inconsistencies? They will think you're not truthful. And integrity, the loss of integrity is a price you're not looking to pay as a freelancer. So understanding these common issues is your very first step to overcoming them. If you underscore your profile online, can easily tell us what you do, work on it. If I can go on your page, like I said, and I cannot tell what niche exactly that you are in, if I see so many things, you need to work on it. If you even on your profile, be it on LinkedIn, for example, you don't have a portfolio, meaning you don't have, there's a segment on LinkedIn called projects, right? And then on Upwork, you have the same thing, Fiverr, different platforms. If you don't have those things right now, I beckon on you to do them, put them together. You have works to show, but you just have not had that time to put it together. But I tell you, if you want to get the traction you are looking for in your various profiles, you will need to show workings, right? As they say in this part of the world, no cho, show workings. So I encourage you to show workings. So far, so good. Let me check that we are still on this call. Are you learning anything so far? If you are learning something, just type on the chat box, I am in the right place. Just type on the chat box, I am in the right place. I'm in the right place. I need to get like 1 or 2 responses so that I'll be sure that. Thank you very much, Christopher. Thank you very much, Adams. Fantastic. So I am sure that every single person here is learning something so far, and it's not a waste of time. So let me just tell you something being very frank. This is what global platforms really look out for. And it's something I look out for when I'm trying to get to connect with people on the internet. Clear niche and value. Just tell me, go straight to the point. When I'm having a conversation with someone and they are having to speak so much grammar, I kind of just get turned off. I feel like this person is not really having anything to show. I've gone for an interview before, right? I was headhunted on LinkedIn to come and filling for the position of a grant writer in one of the non-profit organizations here in Abuja, Nigeria. And the man asked me for my resume in grant writing, and I already told him on the chat on LinkedIn that I don't have a resume in grant writing. I've never worked in a grant writing role. I have worked as a programs officer. I've applied for grants, but that's what it is. He said, okay, just to send me your resume. And I didn't fake things. I didn't go and lie that I've applied for 100 grants. And I didn't lie that I've gotten those grants. So I sent him a resume, and he still wanted to meet with me. So I went for the interview that day, and they asked me, my process about grant applications, and then I shared. And then they didn't ask me this question, but I told them outrightly, I don't have a successful grant I applied for at the time, right? Because from what you are telling me, you don't just want someone that will come and work in position. You want someone that will be able to train other people, right? I should have some certain level of success in that field to be able to train other people. I'm a good writer, yes. But have I achieved anything in grants writing? No. At that point, I'm sure they were wondering, does this person want the job or does not want the job? Because for me, I believe that if there's something I'm starting and it's not on the foundation of integrity, it's not going to last long. I'm always very particular about integrity. So I showed them that day. Of course, I won't say of course, but I didn't get the job, right? And I'm fine that I didn't get it because first of all, I didn't look out for it. I didn't apply for it. I was sourced out for it. But more beyond that, I don't want to have to be the pain in the shoe of an organization, because I love the non-profits, but I love the impact that they are doing. I don't want to be the kind of person that's dragging left and right. All right. Compelling bio. Showcase your expertise, your passion, and how you solve client problems. Use keywords. If you have a profile that doesn't showcase you as a problem solver, there is a problem. If there is a problem, that you're not a problem solver, that's a problem. Right? Because for relevance, are you going to be to my team if you're not solving problems? Don't go online and say, oh, administrative support. You go and get from Indeed the responsibility of admin support, and you put it on your CV, or you smack it into your Upwork profile or your LinkedIn profile, your Fiverr profile, or any other platform remotely, or whatever platform you belong to. And then it's generic, it's the same thing. So imagine 100 people apply for the jobs, and I'm seeing 80 of them saying assisted in XYZ, educated this, exactly the same thing. I'll throw you guys under the bus. Something has to be different. Tell us, when you're a social media manager, how many thousand impressions did you have from the post that you shared? How many posts did you share? What kind of posts did you share? Right? What were the achievements of those posts? What was the conversion rate? Don't tell me that you curated and posted content on social media. Everybody does that as far as social media. That's your responsibility. I don't want to pay somebody for their responsibility. I want to pay someone for their achievements, because that's what will ensure that they will have achievements when they are on my team. And this is me saying this. You can imagine what the global platform looks like. We are so results driven. So your compelling bio is important. Your professional portfolio. As a programs officer, I created a portfolio. I applied for a job one time like that. And then when I got there, the lady said, you are the one I've been waiting for. Are you a graphic designer or you're a programs person? Because every other person applied for this job with their programs, resume, and CV. Only you apply with the programs for financial. Ask all the programs that were there. Did you run all of them? I said, yes, I ran all the programs there. And she was surprised. What did I do? I had an edge. Every other single person may have said, oh, I organized 20 programs, but they're not workings. You have no flyers, no proof that you had this programs done. But on my profile, I had my face in some of these speaking engagements, I had my face in some of this training programs. So how desperate do you think I would be that I would go and design flyers, 20 flyers, 30 flyers prior to when I want to apply for a job? Although there's some people that are that desperate. I kid you not. Right? So that was a thing. And then she told me that the only reason why she cannot give me the job at the time was I was schooling. She was wondering how I was going to be juggling, because that time I was running two programs together. She was wondering how I was going to be juggling these school programs and doing the work. And I understood. And so at the early part of this year, when I was like, wrapping up my programs, right, I sent her a text on Instagram. I said, oh, I'm the one that applied for the job at the time. And when I said, oh, she remembers. And I said, oh, now I'm no longer looking for a job. I'm looking for partners because I'm running my own thing. So keep me in the loop if you have any partnership opportunities. And she was super excited. All right. So how do you put yourself? And it has to be high quality. There's a friend of mine. Let me see if I can find this portfolio. Right. I will showcase that portfolio here. I think I have his permission to do so. I will showcase that portfolio here, and then you will tell me if you were the one to employ, if you will not take this person seriously. Let me see if you guys want to see that. Drop me a number 2 on the chat box if you want to see this profile. You want to see this portfolio? Thank you, Christabel. Let me get 2, 3 responses. Thank you, Adams. Okay, because I'm a very practical person, right? I don't want to have to tell you something that there are no proofs. So what I will do is I'll show you just one for the sake of time, right? I'll show you just one. This portfolio is one portfolio that has stood out for me over the years, all right? So just give me a minute to be able to bring it out. I do hope the slow pace of my cursor at this moment will not impede that. While I'm doing this, you can type on the chat box what you have learned. So something that stood out for you so far, what new knowledge, something you've learned that you're looking forward to implement. And because I believe the last 24 minutes of this call may have been impactful to at least one person. So tell me on the chat box what has stood out for you, what decisions you're looking forward to making in the coming weeks or in the coming months. All right. Okay, found it. So let me just open it. Okay. So the portfolio is 47 pages. All right. And he's an Amazon product strategist. That's just how I can summarize what he does. All right. So we'll just skim through his profile for sake of time. Okay. All right. So I'm on the first page now. So let me share, let me end the current screen I'm sharing and share this one instead. Oh, you can even, oh, thank you. So it's a window I was sharing. So it's easier to use. Kindly confirm that you can see e-commerce portfolio Victor Jonah. Okay, I see some comments on the chat box. Adams is saying I'll need to be more specific on a particular skill in creating my profile online so I don't confuse the brands. Fantastic feedback. Thank you very much, Adams. Truth is saying clearly defining areas of expertise and experience on platforms. Fantastic. All right, so someone give me a thumbs up if you can see e-commerce portfolio Victor Jonah. Thank you very much, praise. All right, so let's skim through. Right, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to be moving through, and then at the end, you tell me if this portfolio is worth it. Okay. So, okay, 1 minute. For some reason, my device is quite slow. I think because I have too many tabs open. Okay, so we're going to be skimming through. So he gives a brief resume. Oh, so I'm not going to be speaking. Okay, I have to speak. Right, he has education here. He has experiences to show you that he has worked in some places before. Right. And these are his services. So you see product listings, listings SEOs, A+ content, cases troubleshooting, inventory management, PPC, and it has breakdown. All right. So he groups it, introduction, about me, overview, Amazon inventory, product listing, just basically every single service that he renders. So you have like a brief of all of them. He has an introduction about himself as an experience, Amazon marketplace specialist, shows you about his track record, and then tells you about himself. Of course, he puts his picture so you know that he's a human being and not a robot. All right, and then he goes into the overview straight, talks about his skills that he has and to what extent. Right, so this is Amazon inventory. So if you're looking for someone in this field, although he just recently got a new job, he started that on Monday. He started that on Monday. So, but if your pay is higher than what he's really earning, by all means, I'm sure he would want to work with you. So this is what it's looking like. He's sharing you inventories that he has worked on in the past, and these things you can, it's Amazon, so it's live. You can easily go and check for them to be sure, and you see things linking to his name there as proof. Right, talks about new product listings for different companies. Right, he explains to you what it means in case you're just starting out as a new you're just becoming a new CEO, you don't know so much about this. He explains to you what it means, explains to you what he does exactly. I mean, come on, when you go about things like this, you see the products that he has listed, different products with their actual names. You can go and search them. He even have the code for this product online. So he tells you that you can see the name of this product online, but I'm showing you the code to tell you that I actually listed this product. All right, and there's so many, and the list goes on and on and on and on, right? And then this product SEO, so many things here, just going on and on and on and on. It talks about keywords optimization, shares keywords that he has done for brands to help their products gain visibility, the refining process, the output, what it looks like at the end of the day. He basically walks you through his SOP on this portfolio, troubleshooting cases, right? He mentions where they have encountered challenges before and the solutions he provided. So he shows you that he's a problem solver at best, right? So imagine people applying for jobs with him. They all drop their resumes and CVs, and he comes from nowhere and attaches. He sees a space to attach another document beyond cover letter, and he attaches this. How do you want to stand on the same ground with him, right? So he tells you that he has had 100+ cases on listings and inventory resolved. He tells you he has had 3,000+ products recovered or reimbursed from FBA. He's giving you numbers. In revenue, he has restored this amount of money for the companies he has worked with. So he's telling you that if you're working with me, this is like the tip of the iceberg, for what I'm going to do with you. All right. So from what you have seen, tell me on the chat box. If you're going to work with him, just type employed, 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 employed. Or you can type when can he start? When can he start? Or you want to meet your mic and say so, you let me know. But if you're like, nah, nothing serious about that, you can also say, nah, nothing serious about that. All right, so I'm reading from the past responses. Christopher says, I had a LinkedIn account before I deleted it because I didn't know what I was doing there. But through this platform, I'll create another account or try to see if the previous one still exists. And I will clearly define what area to create my own niche. Fantastic. Fantastic feedback. Thank you very much, Christopher. Yeah, so Adam's employing this guy, ASAP. All right. And that is because of what he put differently. Oh, Truth is employing him as well. I believe anybody that is seeing what I saw or wants to go through what I went through will be rest assured that this guy is a formidable client. Unless there's someone that applies for that same job that, of course, has a larger portfolio, because you always choose the one that is better. All right. So your profile consistency, like I mentioned, ensure that all sections align: your skills, your experiences, your samples. Right? It should build trust. It should not be questionable. It should not be saying, "Are you sure this guy really did this thing?" So, because from the way he's talking, he talks about the skills he has. He talks about the skills he has. He has CRM skills. But when he worked as a customer support, he didn't mention that in the experience. And they're looking at you with bombastic side eye from wherever they are. All right. So building your winning profile. So this is why we're here today. This is a step-to-step guide for every single one of you on this call. The do's and the don'ts. Right? Now I'll tell you the don'ts first before the do's. Don't you generate titles like freelance. I go online and I see people's profile and say freelancer. What are you freelancing? Tell us. You a graphic designer. Don't say freelancing outrightly. Specific. Don't copy and paste your resume as your bio. Oh my God. And so people, I look at their bio and I'm like, ah. And then you say that nobody's employing you, or LinkedIn is not for you, or Upwork is not for you. Come on. Don't list every skill you know. List only the skills you can do. Don't leave your portfolio empty. Be consistently uploading it, updating it, right? Between the time I applied for the job as a programs officer that I had done, I think I had done about 11 to 15 programs at that time. Between that time, that was January 2023, and now I've done close to 40 programs, right? But what am I saying? It's a lot more than that. It's up to 50. So if I'm sending my portfolio elsewhere, you're seeing my face in a lot more flyers, advocacies, a lot more trainings being done, both physical and virtual, right? So these are the do's. Craft a value-driven title. For example, senior UI UX designer, right? If you want to explain how senior you are, you're boosting conversions. So whoever is looking to boost conversions, they're ready to work with you. Write a story-driven bio. I see post bio, and it's like as if it's your CV that you put into ChatGPT that lists all your skills. No, tell us what makes you you. I often tell people what brought me into programs at the time was that I was in campus, I was a student, everybody was leaving school wanting to go and work in the big companies, and nobody was thinking about starting their own stuff. And then I put my head on the ground and I said, no, people have to leave the school, not going to inhabit, but build. I called a few friends together. We spoke to an older people. We put a program together on campus, and we had over 1,000 people in attendance, and that's what started my journey as a program officer. I say it everywhere. So you can check my bio and see that I've impacted over 8,000 people in the space of 2019 to now is just 6 years. Right? So meaning on a minimum 500 to 1,000 in a year. The very first year gave us 1,000. It was November 30. On Sunday makes it a 6-year anniversary that we did that program. I think it was on October 1st, rather. October 1st. So this year made it 6 years ago that we had that groundbreaking program with over 1,000 people in attendance as a student. Tell that story. Select specific categories and skills. Don't put everything. You can't do everything. Even if you could, don't say everything. Upload high quality portfolio. You saw how much of, and he has upgraded that portfolio. That's not his recent one. Right? And of course, get a professional headshot. Get a professional headshot. I just went to the studio. I think that was last week. So I'm saying this to Sam on the call. Watch out. I'm going to be changing my picture that's going to be on flyers for sessions to come. So watch out. All right. It's supposed to be an upgrade. I have friends that do their headshots every single year. They change their profiles every single year, because there ought to be a change. If there are not changes in your own personal life, how can you guarantee changes in the company that you're looking to work for? All right. Now, building your portfolio, right? Start strong, even as a beginner. Create sample projects. Oh my God, like I said this, I did so much free work from 2017 when I started writing. 2017, 2018, I didn't get paid. 2019, I didn't get paid. 2020, I didn't get paid. It was one day in 2020, for example, my friend just read one of my poems and said, bro, just drop your account number or something enter my hand. I go. That was the first time someone gave me money. I was broke then, because I had said that I would withdraw money from the bank, and that exact was 4,000 naira. That 4,000 naira, I'll frame it in my house. But I can only speak another 4,000 naira. Nobody will know, right? But I had so much to show from that time. Design a mock website, write blog posts on topics you are passionate about, develop a sample app. Just do something with your free time. Right, just make sure that when people meet you, they should not meet you empty. You don't say, but I've not gotten any paid job. Why will I have a project? No, you make your own project. As a freelancer, you're a website developer. Why have you not developed a website for your own self? Develop case studies. For each sample, explain the problem, your process. You saw when I showed you case studies in Victor's portfolio. He talked about how he solved this problem, what the case was. You do same. Showcase your best work. You have done 100 things, but come on, for this job you apply, you need just 2 things. Tell us about the 2 things. Focus on quality over quantity, right? Curate 3, 5 strongest pieces that align with your niche. Make sure that there are those things that whatever happens, when I apply for school, they'll say submit your writing sample. I don't just pick any writer. I go and check the ones that are like the best of the best. The ones I even wrote when AI was not a team, so you can't even see any AI trace there. That's what I will always pick, and the relevance to the industry. All right, so begin there and continue in the same. Define your freelance North Star, right? What would you be known for? What would you be known for? What specific problem are you solving? Right? We saw that the other person was talking about boosting compassion. Is that what you're going to be doing for us as a writer, as an artist, as a graphic designer, as a brand designer? Is that what you're going to be doing for us? Are you going to be boosting our conversions? Tell us. Are you going to be helping us craft a story out of our mess and bring a message in our story? Tell us. What makes you stand out as a writer? Tell us about how writing got you out of depression, how writing helped these people, how people help that people. Tell us. My story in programs will always be groundbreaking to me. I don't care about the next person. It will always be groundbreaking to me, because it was a point in my life where I've been doing programs before. I've been doing drama nights, different events. I had never done something that was not, churchy, right? It was just practical. Come out and stand out. I had never done something like that. And it's interesting to have a good number of people that came out of that program, starting their own businesses. Someone started an on-campus cinema from that program. Another person started a book club. From the book club, he has launched into a full media agency. Another person started a ginger farm. These are the ones that I can remember, or the ones that I was privy to know this information. Not very many people shared about their experience after the program, but this was what it was. Identify your audience. Who are you solving it for? Of course, now you know that you're boosting conversions, but for who? Cannot be for everybody. Everybody is not your customer. So who exactly? Clarify your value. Why should we choose you over other people? Why should you choose Gare to come and educate you over other people? Because he has had passion for education. He has partnered with schools over the years, right? He didn't have to, but he wanted to. That's what sells you differently. A friend reached out to me a couple of days ago, more like a week ago. She said, "Oh, Gary, I'm working with an initiative. We're looking for orphanage homes here in Abuja that we can empower during the Christmas period." How she was confident enough to know that I would have. I mean, my non-profit journey has never been with orphans. That's not my discipline, right? But she was lucky. I actually did have someone whose discipline was working with orphans. The person sent me a list of about, I think, about 8 to 11 orphanage homes. She wanted one. I gave her 11. Right? Niche. So the fact that, I'm not in that discipline, I can ensure you that if you're coming to the non-profit space, I have somebody for the something that you want to do. I kid you not. I may not have a direct access, I will have an indirect access, but I have access nonetheless. That is what I'm telling you. As far as you're coming to non-profits, it's something we sell in craft and scale because we're a management consulting firm, yeah, both for profit and non-profit. I will tell you outrightly, if it's non-profit, I don't care what your idea is, bring it. We'll find you a partner because of the experience we have there. It is even the for-profit side that were a bit tricky because I was not in the for-profit industry a long time. I only just came in last year, but it has been in the non-profit industry for over 4 years. So I could tell you to a certain degree, and even when I was on campus, I was still in the industry indirectly. So why should we choose you over people? So let's do one mini exercise. In one sentence, combine your niche, your audience, and your value proposition and drop it on the chat box. So for example, I am Adams Oklo. I am a senior UI UX developer serving freelance, serving entrepreneurs in the fashion space, and I ensure that the storytelling for every brand is top notch. That's in one sentence. Adams, don't copy and paste too, right? So combine, to tell us in one sentence, combine your niche, your audience, and your value proposition. So drop it on the chat box. So let's be sure that we're making headway. All right. So while we're doing that, we're going to be moving on so we can get to the question and answer, because I'm sure a lot will have a lot of questions from this particular session. So beyond Upwork, this was the major, I communicated with Sam, what his desire was beyond these platforms, right? Beyond Upwork, beyond Fiverr, what other platforms are there? I kid you not when I tell you that there are a billion. There are so many. There are so many. Of course, there are some that will not favor you in the country that you're from, but there are some that will favor you nonetheless, as far as you have the talent. So if you're among the top 3, freelance talents in your industry, right? I mean, for developers, designers, financial experts, you name it, top talent is a place for you. You have people per hour, right? Popular for websites, web development, design, writing. You have Workana, right? For Latin America, actually, but you can also dabble into it. So, but for more African-friendly platforms, you have AfriBlocks, you have Tall Stack Africa, you have Inner Life Talent, and it's what I love so much. It's called Job Together. I didn't add it to the remote job boards here, right? But for you see, you have Job Together, you have ZipRecruiter, of course, of Indeed, FlexJob, we work remotely, Remote OK, our FlexJob's already here. These are other platforms. So like a million. If you want to research platforms for your niche, go to YouTube. You would find a video around a platform for your niche, whether you're going to have premium account or whether you need VPN, for example, if you want to apply from a different region, or you don't even need VPN, they're accepting African talent, you will know from there. All right. So LinkedIn, for example, for freelancers, optimize your profile, put it open to work. Don't be doing senior man when you're looking for food to eat or you're looking for the next gig that will transform your life. Put out there. You don't have to have that frame around your face that says open to work, but just put your open to work. All right. I was open to work at the time. That's why the HR for the job on Grant Writing was able to look up on me. Grant Writing was not part of what I listed, but because I was open to work. Now that I'm not open to work, what I get mostly are partnership deals. Oh, well, we're gonna have this initiative. We want you to come and be a speaker, be a this. But as far as jobs is concerned, if I was open to work, I'll be getting offers every now and then. Network actively, share insights, and connect with potential clients. I will give you this free advice as a LinkedIn optimization expert, right? Never you connect with somebody that is not relating to your present, relating to where you want to go, right, and has nothing to offer you. For example, if you're connecting with me, right, and you are a caterer, I would not accept the connection. I have no business with caterers. Even as a programs officer, when I do events, how where to access caterers from, I will not allow that to affect my algorithm in LinkedIn. I'd rather connect with writers, connect with people that have MBAs, because I have one, so we can share opportunities. Connect with people that are teachers or educators. Connect with that are in finance, because I'm into finance as well. Connect with consulting, because that way, when opportunities are shared, the algorithm brings it my way. All right. Positioning for global visibility, your personal brand, professional photo. If you don't have one, hit the studio, or you can just take a selfie and use AI to assist you, but still go to the studio eventually, because sometimes you see your pictures as an AI. Not everybody is susceptible to AI. All right. Tone and language. Constant voice across all platforms. Don't go and be banting on Twitter and still have in your bio content writer, and then you go on LinkedIn and you're posting, I'm excited to share that I've just, you're having so professional language there, and then they go and set you out on Twitter and they see you insulting your president. Doesn't say well about you. Skill positioning, highlight your most marketable skill. What is that one thing that if they ask you, we want to pay you for this your skill, what is that one thing you would mention? Start there. Show credibility, testimonials. LinkedIn, for example, has given you the opportunity to have recommendations. Make the most of it. Call your friends, your village people, your family members to recommend you. It shows credibility. Add your certifications. If you don't have certifications, go on Udemy. Right? There are people on Twitter that even give coupons to some courses. Tell yourself every single month, I want to have one certification in your discipline. It tells a lot. It says that you're forward thinking, that you're progress driven. So anybody's employee is sure that if you don't know a particular thing, a hurdle does not keep you under. It only gives you a stepping stone for you to become better. All right. Project results boost trust. Right. Project results rather boost trust. What means is that so tell us in percentage. I love numbers so much. Maybe because I'm a finance person, I love numbers so much. Tell us how many people were impacted. What was the conversion rate? What was the churn rate? What was the any rate you want to mention? Right? Even interest rate, but there should be numbers. 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 So let's do something. All right. So don't just learn, implement. So here's a plan for every one of you on this call to kickstart your journey. So after sharing this, I'll take questions. All right. 24-hour profile improvement, just like 𝗧cie_𝗶𝗰 has already shared. Review and update your profile picture. See this guy? See this guy? I don't want to call him the number one bullshit guy, but don't use this kind of picture for your profile. Please package yourself. Refine your profile title and your bio with a clear niche. Let's be able to see one thing. If possible, just have one thing there. Content writer. Stop there. Don't compete with people that have already established. Because go my profile now, you see writer and editor, you see startup consultant, you see 𝗧cie_𝗶𝗰 alumni, you see MBA scholar. Don't do that one. No, me, I'm not looking for a job. I'm looking for partners. But if you're looking for a job, by all means, remove all those things that make it look like as though you have arrived. Put something on a platform that says, help, help me. Right? Tell us who you are. Upload at least one strong portfolio sample, even if it's a mock, even if it has not gone live. Tell us. Right? So for your 7-day visibility ban, research 3 to 5 alternative platforms and sign up for one that shared so much with you. Sign up for more. Connect with 5 industry professionals on LinkedIn in your industry. In your industry. In your industry. Competition is a new collaboration. Collaboration is a new competition. Right? Share insights or an article related to your niche on social media so that it shows that you're a thought leader. You're not just someone that is just in it for the money, but you are a voice in that industry. All right. So I'm going to leave the floor open now for questions. I do hope that we have questions. Okay, so I'm saying 𝗧cie_𝗶𝗰 is saying 𝗧cie_𝗶𝗰, CS students, study and tech content, hairstylist and baker. Oh no, so these does not look okay because I'm seeing hairstylists, I'm seeing baker, I'm seeing tech content, I'm seeing, come on, pick one or pick 2 that align. All right. So, but this is the guide. The very first thing on your profile should be what you are doing currently. If you are not doing anything currently, it should be what you're looking to get opportunities for. The second thing, if you already have what you're doing, second thing will not be what you're looking for opportunities for. And then the rest just showcases your past, your experience, right? So I would recommend you have another platform, maybe use Instagram for your hairstylist and your baker. Have 2 separate Instagram accounts for them, right? When you grow to be a conglomerate, you cannot say these are sub pages or sub arms of your whole company, the 𝗧cie_𝗶𝗰 experience, right? That is both a tech content writer, that is both a hairstylist, that is both a baker. But once you attain that status, just maintain anonymity in the rest, but identification in one that you want us to be able to look at you and remember you for. All right. Does anyone have a question? You're very much welcome, 𝗧cie_𝗶𝗰. Question. So they usually tell us when we're in school that do not questions. It means that either the teacher did so much justice to the topic or he confused them. I hope with these 3 points of mine, I have not confused you, right? If you're not confused, tell me on the chat box that you're not confused, right? So that I can be sure that it's the latter. So the knowledge was so, oh my God, so amazing. And so that's why I'm in awe, right? Thank you. All right. Thank you, Adams. You're not confused. Amazing. Thank you, Christopher. You're not confused. Amazing. All right. So I believe there are no questions. Let me see if Sam is still on the call to be able to speak. Sam, any other updates for the participants, maybe future sessions that are coming up that they want to look forward to before we draw this session to a close? Because I know Sam is on 2 meetings right now. I don't know if it's active on ours. All right. So I'll just leave the floor open for questions. Another 2 minutes. If there are no questions, we will call it a day. But before we go, we definitely will have to unmute our mics and do our signature what's the word, anchor anthem before we go. All right, so there are no questions, and I don't think Sam will be able to join us. So just before you leave, you can unmute your mic, and if you have the privilege of turning on your cameras, you can do same and just say hello before you go, so you can rest assured that there were no robots in this session. They were all human beings. All right, so thank you. And like I said, you can either unmute your mics or mute your mics and turn on your cameras as you say hello as you exit the call. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm not hearing anybody hailing. You want me to go first? Oh, okay. Adam's on the room, so you may not want to unmute his mic and speak. That's fine. Oh, fantastic. You can use the chat box as well if you are not in a place where you can speak. Thank you very much, Adams. I believe the rest people on this call are very shy. All right, so I'm going to stop the recording now. Thank you all very much. Oh, thank you, Christopher. I see your message in the chat box. Thank you. And see you guys next time. All right.